Sean with the Team the Wealth Network, and we're back at it live in Chicago Southside, as we always typically are, and we're in this 2-unit building. So earlier today we went to a single family home. Now we're in a 2-unit building. This building has the good, sexy, flexy armored door, which means it's DAWs, or you sometimes will see VPS. When you guys see that, that means that this is a bank-owned property. Most abandoned properties don't really have that on there unless it's a protected asset from the bank. So when you're driving past and you see the armored, like, man, that's good security. That's because the bank is putting that, they are protecting that asset. So we are in a bank-owned property, which is also an issue. I don't typically like bank-owned properties. They can be a good value, but there's no negotiating room when it comes to a bank-owned property. What they tell you the price, that's the price. So inside this, we went to the basement. It was full of mold, so we're not gonna really go back down there. However, I wanted to take you through and see like what we see on this level. So we're on the south side, so you see these when you have these apartments where it's like really a large living room and dining room space. A lot of us like this aspect because it's open concept already. So you walk in, it's a plenty enough room. As you can see, these windows, which that one window is boarded up and broken, but these windows are relatively new. They're not like in bad condition. They're not the wood framed windows that you see on some of the Chicago South Side. You'll see those properties that have older windows, and windows are quite expensive. So with this property, we would come in and probably paint over everything. And I like the hardwood floors. Like they're good, they're in decent condition. I don't really see any, distortions or bevels in the floor, which means that we can decide to keep the hardwood floors, sand them, and stain them to kind of keep that hardwood floor look. Don't have Sade. So let me introduce you guys back to Sade. Sade's still hanging out with us.
Hey guys.
We came earlier. Sade, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sade, back again, investor, realtor in Chicagoland area. I'm with the Team to Wealth. I work with them on the acquisition side of things, finding properties. I specialize in servicing clients who are in some sort of distress typically, so facing foreclosure, tax delinquency, tired landlord, sometimes a death in the family. So if you have anyone who's experiencing those type of challenges, I'm definitely the one to talk to. In addition to, I can also create solutions that you may not see available to you. Sometimes when an owner is facing foreclosure, they may not have any equity in their property, and typically lots of realtors or even investors don't even want to work with that type of client, but I actually specialize in working with a client who doesn't have any equity in their property.
So this is also one of the hidden cool things about Sade, and we'll do another video at another time, is she's really good at wholesaling. So a lot of you guys want to get into wholesaling and learning how that process works. Sade is really great at it, and we'll sit down with her in another video and talk about that. So let's keep walking through.
Awesome.
So Sade, so tell me, what do you think about this first level of this 2-unit?
Well, what I do like about this property, like you said, is mainly the openness of it. So it just creates additional space, additional living space for it. I like the hardwood floors in the property. So the two things for me right now are the hardwood floors and the open concept.
Sweet. So it's like kind of exciting or cool when you're at these properties. I was talking to Sade about the fan, like they got the modern fan, but they definitely got the security gates on it. You know, you gotta love the Chicago South Side, right?
Right.
So there we go.
Look at the floor in the bathroom.
Right, exactly. So, and this time, sometimes you see this a lot in our properties here in Chicago, or these vacant properties or bank-owned properties where it's with some styled to it, you know what I mean? Because like typically you're not seeing a little plastic, this is real actually tile that's put around, and it's not actually really bad, no, right? It's good. But we would totally remove all of this, unfortunately, right guys? When we come through, we will remove this. It's cool to know that the plumbing is still in here. It is galvanized piping, which, could be a problem because nowadays we want to go and use copper.
So Nishan, I have a question for you. Why would you remove the tile?
Why would I remove the tile? Well, I mean,
aesthetically it looks good, so why would you remove it?
Because
I wouldn't remove it.
Here's the thing, like I don't really like this color and this style. It's dark. I would want something to be a little bit light and bright because this is still a like tight bathroom. So I would want it to look like a light like a light brown or tan color. You know what I mean? Like now you could get away with it, but I wouldn't. I mean, look at the tub. Come check this out. I would remove that tub. It's cool, but I would remove it. And typically when you're coming into a bathroom to redo a bathroom, you're typically going to remove all of this stuff. I mean, you're going to make it, style it to the way that you think.
The rest of the style of the house.
Yeah, of how I'm going to, the color scheme of the house.
Yeah.
You know, make sure it's warm. Right. So here's the kitchen. Now, I like these kitchens in these apartments because they are spacious, right? So of course you have a living room, dining room, but you also have enough room in here to have a nice kitchen table, right? I think that's pretty awesome. There's a pantry back here.
Go ahead, Sade.
So just the eating kitchen area I was pointing out.
Okay.
Being able to eat inside the kitchen, like Sean said, as well as having the dining space.
Mm-hmm.
And what does this lead us to?
That's what I'm talking about, the back porch, absolutely. And as you guys can see, again, this is when you know, because like Janae and I had experience with working with the banks before. So when you're securing a property, no one's getting in or out of this property, right? It's bolted down, there's bolts going up in here. It's really secure. So when you see dolls or VPS, you know, again, it's a bank-owned property. They're securing their asset.
And it's wise to do that on Chicago's Southside, even West Side communities, because squatters, they will come into your property, especially during the winter season in Chicago. Squatters come to your properties. I actually have a property right down the street, a foreclosure short sale that we're working on, and we had a squatter inside the property that we had to go ahead and get out and get removed. So definitely make sure you're protecting your assets.
That makes a lot of sense. So this room, I think this is a bedroom. Of course, there's no lights. And this is what we wanted to show you guys, because when we're going to properties, guys, we're not just like walking through this property and say, oh, it's a great property. You know, we're looking to see if this is a potential deal. But look at all of that. Good old sexy flexy mold and water damage, right? And as you guys can see, like this property's been unkept for so long that the water damage went through the drywall and has been leaking down, right? So we know, Janae and I know from working with the banks that when they came here to go and
That wasn't there.
no, well, what they did was when the banks come in, they're going to go and fix wherever that leak is at. They'll have us come out to go and fix the leak. So there's no more water that's still leaking in here, but this was done before the property was probably foreclosed on. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead to the second level of this floor and check out and see what's going on with the second floor. All right, so guys, we're here, finally made it to the second floor, right? And this unit is different than the unit downstairs. Equal space, but there's no arching set to separate the rooms from your living room to your dining room, but the same amount of space. What do you like about it, Sade?
Well, I like that we don't have that dividing wall because it opens up the space, and now the space is a lot more open and brighter.
Mm-hmm.
These windows are really great. Like I said, they're in good condition, so that's a plus. So, and I think this unit actually has more bedrooms. Let's check this out.
Over the stairs.
Here's our first bedroom. A little smaller.
It is.
Yeah. So this is typically the size of a bedroom that's over the stairs. So that's why most 2-unit properties in Chicago are 5-bedroom, 2-bath, because the second floor will have the 3-bedroom where they've added a bedroom over the staircase.
So I think this is a better size bedroom, but it's still, yeah, this is a much larger bedroom.
And this one has a walk-in closet space.
Again, I just love these fans, right? I can't get enough of talking about these fans, right? Okay. Maybe I'm just gonna go get one of these fans myself.
They do look pretty cool, like steampunk or something.
Right. So,
Is that water on that baseboard too?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of interesting, because it's only at the baseboards. And it makes me wonder, like,
Was it them?
if I see some tuck pointing on the outside.
that's probably what we would look on.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is this like outside coming in, or is this just like something internal? You know,
Yeah.
just family messing stuff
Right,
up.
playing around. Mm-hmm.
Come on, cameraman, you ready? All right, so Sade, you mentioned downstairs, like, why would I change out the tile? See, up here, I kind of beg the difference. I wouldn't necessarily change this out. Definitely the tub, because there's some lot of stuff going on inside of that tub. But I like this color as a bathroom. It's a lot much warmer. You really don't want your bathroom to be dark, right?
And it also flows with the property. The coloring already flows with the property.
Right. So this bathroom is not in bad condition. I'll definitely get rid of the tub. And obviously you need a commode and everything else. This last bedroom is actually a pretty nice size as well.
Look what we have here.
There we go. See, this is what we were talking about. Come check this out, man. So team, the water damage. So team, the water damage that we saw earlier is really coming from all of this. This is the problem, okay? And what we find in these properties is when it's unkept, it's abandoned. You know, water is the most damaging like element to any property, okay? Water is, right? Not fire. Well, fire is dangerous, but water is really, really a problem. So this roof may have had a problem for a while, and over time, again, just water getting into there, seeping through. And as you guys can really see, I don't know if you guys can check that out. It's water actually on the floor now because it's water still coming into the property. It's exposed from the outside. So this is really a problem when it comes to rehabbing, on us putting in a new roof, finding out what the joists is, what is mildew, what can we keep, what is molded. That's where a lot of our funding is going to come from with this particular property. It can be, a number of years where, again, like it was unkept. And like I said, water is really a problem. So,
it's a different setup kitchen.
Yes, this kitchen is differently set up than the one downstairs, but I actually prefer the upstairs unit more than I do the downstairs unit.
I like these cabinets.
Yes, like, and this is what we're saying. Sometimes when we go on these properties, you can tell where the owner at some point was making some differences, or they were attempting to make improvements, but for whatever reason they ran into issues. That's why they would reach out to someone like Sade or someone like us to actually help them in this situation before the roof gets to that condition, or unfortunately before that property forecloses, because we know that this is a bank-owned property because of the DAWs and the VPS, which means that the owner probably went through foreclosure with this property, or God bless them, they might have passed away and that property just went back to the banks, right? But overall, I think that this property is okay. I would like to go downstairs, outside, to walk around, to really see what's going on with all of that water coming in the backside, to really, make a determination of what our cost is going to be, or projection cost of what the rehab is going to be to get this property up to the maximum value.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, guys, so we're finally made it out. Sade can breathe, right? Because these properties, when we go in, and everybody talks about wanting to be a real estate investor, but that's part of getting out into these ugly properties that no one else is looking at, and no one else wants to go inside, and seeing what's going on and what the potential of that property can be. So Sade, what was your thoughts about this property?
Well, the property looked really good until we made it to the second floor and we saw where the water damage was. And then as we've made our way outside the property, as you see over here, we have even more water damage. So the price doesn't make sense for this property anymore.
And another reason it doesn't make sense is because it's bank owned. I love the banks, but I don't. So one of the things that is really important for you guys to know is when you come out to these properties, have a watchful eye. Look for the major issues. Look for the major problems. What is really going to cost you in these properties?
So Nishan, I would ask you though, at the right price for this, would it be worth getting into this property, or would you still just stay away from it because of all the work that needs to be done because of the water damage and tearing down this porch?
Okay, good question. At the right price, I would. Why? Because of two reasons. One, it's a 2-unit building. Guys, the benefit of having a 2-unit building is always great because it's 2 incomes, right? Or you can house hack. Everybody's like house hacking, but it's really awesome to have that additional income. Plus, the basement unit duplex is down.
A third unit.
Yeah, so it's a lot of value there. But again, because it's bank owned, there's not a lot of wiggle room to negotiate, right? If this property, if we could have maybe helped this homeowner right before they foreclose or in that position, then we would have a lot more leverage to kind of negotiate the price point or maybe short sell the property so that we can get it at a comparable price that it's going to make sense for the numbers of the amount of work that we put in.
Absolutely.
So guys, again, please like, subscribe to our channels. Be on the lookout. We will be doing another video with the amazing Sade on wholesaling because I know you guys are thirsty for that. And until next time, peace.
All right. Thank you.